Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Oh.
Oh. Ow.
Cola.
Ooh. The fuck are you
Oh.
doing, dude?
Just spilling all over the Heather Gray here. What the fuck is up, bro?
Nothing much, bruh. What are we doing here?
Well, the pilot's in the books, and they've signed us on for a season, so we're gonna see what it do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Didn't know Celsius made a sparkling cola. I definitely thought this was gonna be like a peach, and then I just tasted it, and it tastes like flat soda.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen that. I've seen those at the grocery store, and I've skipped those every time.
Not great. Came in a
Not
variety flavor or a variety pack. That's what I get. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Just starting Card Attendant Confessions with Rick and Paul.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
These are our confessions.
You're going to get... Confession number 1. We don't like Cola Celsius.
Yeah, right off the bat, that's the first confession. The second confession is I like to go with the Heather Grays at the Road Grays at home. You know, after you go grocery shopping and you're all sweaty and you need to throw away a shirt and you need to put something on that's more homey, I go with the Road Gray. And this is actually a Tomatero's, Culiacan Tomatero shirt. Yeah, I'm in the baseball mood.
Same, as I'm rocking my last dive bar tee.
Nice.
I normally rock the black alternate unis whenever I'm at home.
There you go. Yeah, you could be. You're definitely home today. I think Pilot, which people may never see. I don't remember actually. You had last dive bar on though.
Mm-hmm. I highly doubt the pilot episode will ever be released.
I hope not.
I listened to it back, and it has its moments, but oof,
it's not ready for our
public
mass
view.
audience right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe we can clip. Did Usher perform Confessions at the Super Bowl?
Pretty positive. I was working the brewery when he was playing, so it was
These
pretty
are
loud.
our confessions. There's so many confessions that come from being a card attendant. I'll say that.
So yeah,
and we won't mention who our employer was, but
no, definitely not.
Should that be discussed? Should we give a synopsis of why we're here and why it's called Card Attendant Confessions? Or
I was going to ask you. I was like, why don't you tell the people who we are and why this is happening?
Yeah. Well, I'm Rick. That's Paul, and this is Card Attendant Confessions. And the reason it's called Card Attendant Confessions is because we were both card attendants at a local grocery store / retail store that is not so local. It's actually a massive chain in the United States. And we were card attendants there. And I would work the morning shift. Paul would come in the afternoon. It was both of our first jobs. And if you've ever seen the Key and Peele sketch when they're like bellhops,
Yes,
and they're just shooting the shit all day, like talking about random stuff, actors, baseball, football, sports, video games. That's basically what we did all day while pushing carts, busting our ass for minimum wage. So for 3 years, I think. How many years were we at it?
I was there 2.5 years. Yeah,
Really?
back then we always talked about.
I almost spit out my drink because I was like, how long were we there? Oh yeah, why didn't I work there again anymore? Oh. Don't know if I want to discuss that. We'll probably get into it eventually.
We'll get in that down the road. But let's just say I worked there a little bit longer than Rick did.
Yes, put it nicely. Thank you for that.
And so as we walked around the parking lot
6 months,
collecting
Rick.
carts, as we were walking around the parking lot collecting carts, we would always just pretend we were having a radio show called Card Attendant Confessions. And so that's where the dream began before podcasts were really even a major thing at all. I remember watching PTI and Kornheiser and Wilbon would always say, check us out on the Apple podcast after... or the iTunes podcast after the show, and I never knew what that was back in 2007.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a confession.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Well, no, I knew what it was. I had it on my iPod, and I would listen to their Even though I had like watched the show, but
Mhm.
I used to have it
Was it
automatically
just a
downloaded on my
recap
phone.
of PTI,
It
or?
was just the audio version of the show.
Well, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Podcast before they really took
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I think it was back then. I don't think it was like looked at as having a podcast. They just kind of like took radio stuff and put it on there, or took TV
Yeah.
stuff and put it on. But yeah, like you said, we were in the parking lot talking shit about work, customers, sports teams, waiting in line for video game drops. Back then, that actually was a thing.
Yeah, midnight
Uh,
releases or 10
yeah.
a.m. or line start at 8 a.m. releases.
NCAA. Line starts at 10 a.m. Never forget that.
The only thing
don't
is
know
they
what
didn't
year
open
that
till
was.
noon.
Right. Like, what year
They-
was that? Was that the
2000
first NCAA or the like second or
I think
third
it was the
one that we
second
had?
one. I think it was one with Tebow on the cover, NCAA
Okay.
10.
So they had, it was a GameStop in our parking lot that we worked in. And now that I think about it, it's so funny, like the different businesses in the parking lot, because we had like different reasons to go to all of them. But yeah,
Right.
the GameStop had like a life size, or like just like a big poster that had the game ad and the date of the drop, and it also said like for the day of, line starts at 10 a.m. right?
It was either 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., forgetting when they opened.
Yeah. And we're playing video games the night before pretty much all night.
We said, let's do an all-nighter of the old game before the new one comes out. A little last hurrah.
Yeah, yeah. Because the night before you're about to buy a brand new game and spend all day playing that new one, you should just play the one that's on its last day and play that all night and burn up all your energy.
Correct.
So, oh,
Sound
and didn't
logic.
we get a yeah. The alternate was if you bought the game at our employer.
Our employer.
We'll probably end up just having to say it. But for right now, we'll say our employer. If you bought the game there, you got like a free 12-pack of Coke. Or
Coke
Coke
Zero.
Zero. Yes, because they were pushing Coke Zero. It like had just come out. And it was like one or the other. I don't
For
know
some
what the
reason, we
buy-in was at
pre-ordered
GameStop.
at GameStop. There was
I
nothing.
think because we did it like
Nothing.
way early before we knew about the deal at the store. So whatever. We're playing NCAA all night, Online Dynasty. I don't even know if it was like the one we've been playing for years, or if we were just shooting the shit with like a new one, like a new season.
I have a vague memory of us starting a brand new one, and it was you were USC and I was Florida.
Oh yeah, I had
And
like
so-
Ray Malaluga.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
Clay
had-
Matthews maybe.
This was year after Tebow was out, so I had John Brantley at quarterback. But there was a young freshman on that team by the name of Cameron Newton.
I do remember that. Definitely remember that.
Right before
Cameron Newton.
he stole laptops and got kicked out of Florida.
Oh. Can't remember. Oh, damn. The name's gonna slip me. But the starting running back, I had like a 3-headed monster at running back with USC that year. I don't think any of them turned out to be good.
I want to say one was like Joe Knight or Joe McKnight or something like that.
Joe McKnight. You're right. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, we decided to start a new dynasty the night before, and we never picked the best teams, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the game was on its last night. Like, fuck it.
Yeah,
All right,
we said let's just be the best two teams, and let's just play one entire season in one night.
because that was possible back then.
Yes, it was.
When you have pretty much no responsibilities,
Next to none.
and you could just stay up all night playing video games. Yeah. And I guess the end of that story is we stayed up all night playing, and we were so fucking tired that when we get to GameStop at 10 a.m. or before 10 a.m. because the
line said it starts
the
at 10.
line started at 10. And
I'm like, we gotta be there early. We gotta get in front of that line.
there's gonna be people, man. I tell you, when I go buy Madden at the
Yeah.
midnight release, my mom takes me to Southland, and I gotta wait in line. There's like 40 people there, man.
Yeah,
So-
we gotta get in line.
So you drive us in the morning pre 10 a.m.
Pre 10 a.m. Show up around 9:45 ish, whatnot, and we walk up like, oh, it's really quiet out. Walk up to the corner down the little alley where the GameStop is, and there's nobody there.
Huh.
It said, there's the giant sign that says line starts at 10, and next to it says store hours, and the store doesn't open until noon.
Oh. Meanwhile, our store that had the Coke Zero promotion is already open. It opened like 2 hours ago. The game's available right there across the parking lot.
But we decided to pre-order through GameStop.
Because they hyped it up, and they made it such a big... Why isn't everybody in line for the game right now like we are? Nobody else is anticipating this release? Well...
After we just stayed up for 24 hours straight.
We overshot our shot there. And, yeah, so we have to wait 2 hours. I think we went back to your place and, napped.
Took a nap. And then we woke up. We just weren't even feeling... And then we had to go to work.
Oh, God, this story gets fucking worse. This is terrible. You're making me relive this. Yeah, we had to go to work.
Yeah. We couldn't even play until after for another after an 8-hour shift. Then we could play.
Well, I guess the bright side is this doesn't happen anymore because there's no more in-person
physical stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, you don't buy a game, get the case, and look at the pan. I miss that, but yeah, they don't have that anymore.
I do miss looking at the back of the game.
We'd probably still be doing that, trying to line up and buy a midnight release. I love those videos though, of
oh yeah.
On Twitter where it shows it's like nostalgic videos of the
you
night,
waiting in line for Halo 2.
Yeah, or like the night the PS2 came out.
Oh yeah.
And it could be like an 8 or 10 minute long video, and I'll sit there and watch that whole thing.
All 10, just seeing pure joy.
Also, yeah, we'll never get that Coke Zero back. We missed out on that promotion.
I remember because the next year we decided to pre-order from our employers, and they weren't doing the 12 packs the following year, so we just bought Diet Dr. Pepper. Put it in the mini fridge.
We used to buy 2 12 packs.
Oh, this is disgusting.
I bought a 12 pack, and you would buy a 12 pack.
One would throw it in the mini fridge. Diet Dr. Pepper, and one would be Brisk lemon iced tea.
Brisk was a nice switch up.
It was a good change of pace. It's a good change of pace drink. You don't want it all the time, but after you're ripping 2-3
bunch of
Dr. Peppers,
you got to get the little smooth flow of the Brisk in there.
Absolutely.
Nothing hits like a cold Brisk. That's Brisk, baby. But,
Brisk, please sponsor us.
Oh my God! If they're still around, please.
Yes. Are you still around? Brisk, sponsor us.
They had like a Super Bowl commercial, I don't know, like 5-10 years ago. Probably 10 years ago. Probably closer to 10 years ago. But I remember being surprised. It was like Judge Mills Lane, and I think Eminem was boxing in it or some shit. That's just a random Super Bowl commercial that I remember because I didn't even know Brisk was still around. But I think, yeah. Anyways, that was the end of midnight releases, and a confession that I'd probably like to take back, not have admitted, as will they all be. But that's kind of where it happened, in the parking lot, us shooting the shit, confessing, talking about how we screwed up at work, and we acted like we were on our own podcast, and then, what is this, 15 years later, 20 years later almost? Not 14, quite 20.
17 years later.
Jesus.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wow, 17 years later.
Here we are. We're finally actually recording.
Welcome to episode 1.
Yeah, if you're still here, welcome to episode 1.
Yeah, they started talking about midnight releases and Diet Cokes, and I kind of checked out there.
Yeah. They never even talked about the A's that they said they were going to. We might not get to it, guys.
I don't know if we'll get to it this episode, but I think maybe next week or the week after we're going to do a deep dive of our A's fandom, how it started, our experiences, how we're feeling about the team and all the news and everything going on. 'Cause that was probably the biggest part of us talking in the parking lot, was just us being A's fans and
There's a lot
replaying
there.
moments.
There's
So
a spider
we might
web.
not be able to unpack it all, but a lot of our conversations and our confessions are going to be about Oakland A's baseball and how the team is being uprooted from Oakland.
Yeah, both growing up in the East Bay, we got a lot to say. But we don't want to make that the entire thing. So
Right.
we'll
We
see
have
how it
plenty to
goes.
talk
This thing
about.
might go crazy. We might just be a podcast about Diet Coke
I just found out
and
Brisk,
deals and promotions for video games. And we just get sponsored every episode to talk about promotions.
Brisk iced tea has been discontinued in the United States, though it's still available in other countries.
No!
So maybe we could bring back Brisk iced tea.
Oh, well, that's going to be a tough task, but what other iced teas are out there?
Brisk is the only one in my heart.
Just hard iced teas now. There's not
Right.
even like regular iced teas available. But yeah, we kind of started this with the baseball season right around the corner, and happy reporting. We are reporting for duty. People have
Yes.
pitchers and catchers have reported. The teams
Full
have
team- I
reported.
think today was like the day that all teams had to report by, I believe.
Hell yeah, man. It feels good that baseball's back. Last year we had the World Baseball Classic, and you and I were very much into the World Baseball
I'm a
Classic.
big WBC guy.
It seemed like almost half baseball fans cared and half didn't. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
But,
we had the terrible Edwin Diaz injury in the World Baseball
oh,
Classic.
God,
you don't
dude, that
want your
killed. We don't want anyone
that
to get
led
hurt
to the
in
Mets'
this.
downfall that year. That's just started off classic Mets season. All
Yeah.
reliever with the richest reliever contract ever gets hurt. Did he get hurt celebrating?
I think so. I think it was right after was it their second game? And I think they still had one more to move on
Yeah.
after that. I don't even
I
know
think
if
he got hurt. Pretty sure he got hurt
don't even know if they made
celebrating
it
and
past
missed
the
the
eliminate-
entire year.
God, that's terrible. But World Cup in soccer, guys are like living for that. That
Right.
is, it means so much, and I think in baseball too, for certain countries, it still does. But
Absolutely,
USA,
because
we got to get
certain-
there.
Yeah, certain countries don't have like favorite teams really. They have favorite players and favorite players from where they're
Yeah.
from. And so this is them representing them, and you get to experience that. So that's like, this is your World Series, is the World Baseball Classic.
And now we don't have a World Baseball Classic this year, so you're welcome, Mets. No, what is it? Every 4 years, but
Every
because of
4.
COVID, is it going to come back around sooner? This next time, I think.
Oh, I hope. I wish they would do it every 3, every 2.
I wish it was.
It's-
Every 2 would be sick. Every
it
3,
was
but then
such
it's
a-
not even.
Last
I
year's
don't know if an
championship
even number
game
makes sense.
Last year's championship game with Japan and the USA team, that was pure playoff experience. And Shohei versus Mike Trout for the final at bat.
Yeah,
And
it
that
gives
was-
those players a chance to be on that. That platform. You get to see them in a postseason scenario. I mean, outside of that, we've never seen Trout
oh,
ever, almost
I was
ever,
just gonna,
in
I
a
was just gonna
postseason
say,
game.
yeah, it gave Mike Trout. He came out and said, like, in an interview, he goes, "Yeah, this is like my first real taste of like playoff atmosphere baseball, because he's only been in the playoff one time and had played in 3 games, and that was it." So
Yeah.
he was like, this atmosphere of like just a winning team, this playoff picture and all that, and championship games, and he said it just meant so much to him, and it was. Yeah, get him out of Los Angeles. Get him away from the Angels.
That would be nice. And then I think was it today or yesterday it came out that
Mhm.
and I think he made a comment that he doesn't want to be traded. He
Yep.
doesn't want the easy way out. And I don't think anyone would think that, Mike.
No,
Like, we
You've been
want to
there
see
for-
you compete in the postseason in October. We
Right.
want to see big at bats, big moments with you.
The Angels couldn't do it with the two best players in our game. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Run.
And
Didn't happen in 12 years. He had
Just
one playoff
go.
appearance in 12 years there. Get out.
Yeah.
Just,
Grow-
please, just go.
growing up as an A's fan, and who knows what I am now after what Fisher and company have done to me.
Right.
Yeah, wasn't an Angels fan, but where are the Angels gonna move? You hear the Diamondbacks today, or
I heard
maybe
that
looking
today,
at stuff. Yeah, their owner,
Yeah.
or like general partner, made comments that, I mean, I think all these, like, every day there's a new Twitter quote that people blow out of proportion. I think, like, even the Rendon thing, like, we already knew Anthony Rendon said he's not as invested in baseball as other things in his life. Like, we kind of already knew that, but, and people
we
are...
get it.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of sucks for saying it over and over again.
Like, we get it, guy. You want to shorten the season. You don't want to play. You're the fifth richest contract in baseball. I get it.
My confession is I also want to shorten the season, but for other reasons. I want things to be more... I would do like 100 or 120 games, make it a little bit more competitive for, you know...
Hand up confession. I completely agree. I want a 100-game season.
Yeah, that'd be fun, exhilarating. But I don't think a lot of people understand that there are so many professional athletes that don't really know a whole lot about the game they play anyway. They're just that good at it. When you're like a star in high school or college, or in high school, you make it to college or whatever, but you're not like a historian of the game, or you might not even have a favorite team. You just grow up and you went out there and you were hella good at it, and you kind of got thrown into being a professional in this sport, but you didn't even have like a favorite team, or you don't even really care about the sport as a whole or doing it every day. And I think there's a lot more Anthony Rendons out there than people want to believe.
Oh, absolutely.
In all sports. But, yeah, the other thing was that the Diamondbacks may look into possible relocation. Well, that's going too far. They didn't really say that. But they said, like, you know, there's been other things discussed, but their main priority is to build in Phoenix. But just the fact that even comes up, and that it's, like, questionable, and then the A's have kind of let all these other owners know, like, yeah, man, go after that taxpayer money.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw some post today about it, and they're like, this is why all the owners approved this move for the A's to Vegas without any information about it. It's like to put pressure on the cities, like, hey, you either fork up the taxpayers' money or we're going to move, because look what just happened in Oakland.
Exactly. And that is going to be one of our vents throughout the pod when it comes to the A's, is I guess the elephant in the room. God damn it, that is such a
that is
pun.
A fantastic pun.
Walked
well
right
played,
into it.
Sir.
Yeah, I can't act
Stomped
like that
right
was...
into it.
Ah.
I'm forced. All right, I'm sorry.
The fuck was I even talking about? See what the A's do to me. But the relocation, that's the elephant in the room, and we'll, you know, things are going to play out over the next few months. I think we have till July when they need to announce where they're playing the next 3 years, or at least next year.
Next year they have to announce it before July, because next year's schedule has to be done, and they have no idea where this team's going to play. It's embarrassing.
I can't
it's
believe
so
that
embarrassing.
It's very, very embarrassing, and we're embarrassing.
It's just
We've said this
embarrassing
for years now, but now it's on the national scale, and everyone can see how embarrassing we are. I hate it.
Yeah,
but it's finally, you know, you got to shove it in John Fisher's face now. Like, you've kind of flown under the radar for so long because
absolutely.
Everyone just thought, like, they're the shitty A's, or they're the low budget A's. Yeah, that's their thing. They
look at them.
Good for them. They made it to a wild card.
Good job, buddy.
Aw, you got bounced in the wild card again. It's okay.
Again, it's okay.
And then we'll have all your players now. You can trade them.
Thank you.
I'll take Matt Chapman and Matt Olson.
I'll give you nothing.
Ooh, Marcus Simeon in free agency.
Oh.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
So you're naming some fun players, Rick, and I kind of had an idea for a little segment, little weekly segment here. Speaking of the A's, and
Oh yeah.
one of like the things going around social media nowadays, how guys just like going and randomly saying random baseball players or random sports players' names, and
Yeah, everyone's doing it now, and I feel like we were way ahead of the game.
We were doing this back in 2007, picking up carts
Damn it.
in a parking lot.
Damn
So now we're going to
We
look
should've
like we're
walked around with a
jumping on the
microphone.
wagon. Just recording us back then.
Yeah.
But I have you know what? How about, I'm thinking of a random A's player right now, and you try and guess, and after every guess, I'll give you a hint.
Okay, so do I
So
start
go
off
for it.
with? Do I start off with just naming one
Just
random
name
A's player
one
from all
he
time?
spent some time at all-time A's. I'll keep it from in Oakland, so from 68 on.
Okay, I will go with. I'll make it. I'll play the game. I'll say someone that's not as obscure.
Okay.
Jason Giambi.
No, this player...
It's the guy.
just,
Oh,
ow,
you
ow.
could have said.
you could have said
Damn
any...
it. All right,
Oh, well.
start the recording over again,
This segment's over.
which we will never do. These are one take.
Oh, yeah, we are not a...
I ain't doing that.
I ain't got time for that.
All right,
This
so it
is-
wasn't Giambi?
It wasn't Jason Giambi. This Oakland A's player is a pitcher.
Mark Mulder.
You have to go a little bit more obscure here. This Oakland pitcher pitched for... He was on the team in 2006 and 2007.
Justin Duscher.
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a real good one.
Always been one of my favorites. he for some reason, was one of my favorites.
This A's player played from 1995 to 2008, and he's played for Pittsburgh, Texas, Toronto, the White Sox, the Yankees, the Nationals, the A's, the Dodgers, and the White Sox again.
Huh. He played for the A's from 05 to 08?
He played for the A's in 2006, and he played 2 games in 2007 before being claimed off waivers by the Dodgers.
What? Am I allowed to ask questions, or do I just keep asking and then you keep
Normally
revealing
you're just supposed
hints?
to guess, but I just kind of answered that question for you. You're supposed to give me a guess now.
Okay. I'm trying to think. 06. That's what it was, right? 06, you said?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So this is an ALCS team. This is when we made the ALCS. I'm going to go with Gio Gonzalez.
It's a solid guess. I'm going to give you one more normal baseball hint, and then I'm basically going to give away the answer with my final hint. This player in 2003 was finished second in the AL Cy Young with the White Sox.
Jesus.
Really his
Should know.
only good year.
I should know this.
He was a 2-time All-Star in 03 and 04.
It's
He was
pretty
dominant
obscure,
one year.
you would say?
I'd say it's pretty obscure.
Yeah, it's not Ben Sheets.
No, it's not Ben Sheets. All right. Your final hint is...
Is it Okay, yeah, let me get the final hint.
On June
Damn
14th in 2006, this player was arrested after being pulled over by police who clocked his Ferrari
Esteban
going 100...
Loaiza! He got pulled over like less than a mile from my house.
Thank you. He got clocked in his Ferrari doing 120 on a California freeway near San Lorenzo. Also
Right
known
by
as
the Baker's
Black,
Square.
Oh, I thought it was the Black Angus.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. It is a Black Angus.
I think that's the 880 freeway, right? And that exit and entrance is right by the Black Angus Steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was giving some baseball hints. Maybe, hopefully, somebody else had some fun trying to guess. But unless you were in 2006, you were by the 880 entrance by Black Angus, you won't know that Esteban Loaiza got a DUI.
So the craziest thing, well, two things here. That's one, that's not the craziest thing that Esteban Loaiza has done
No, it's
or
not.
been arrested for.
No,
And
it's
two,
not.
when this happened, I remember getting the update on my phone. Like, you get the push notification. Wait, what
Yeah.
year was this again? When he got arrested?
2006, 2007. I know you had a BlackBerry.
Oh,
around
maybe
then.
I'm lying. that might be.
Definitely weren't getting push notifications.
Yeah, I don't think I had an iPhone. I don't even think the iPhone was out yet.
No.
I had a BlackBerry. There was a notification though, and I remember seeing San Lorenzo in it. And
Insane.
I'm like, what? ESPN is mentioning San Lorenzo. It has to be like some city in Mexico or something. No.
No,
San Lorenzo,
our little
California.
village in the East Bay.
And what? This guy in the starting rotation of my team just got pulled over for a DUI?
Going
In
120
San
in his
Lorenzo?
Ferrari. First off, what is there a Ferrari doing in San Lorenzo?
That was a great final hint.
Yes.
That,
And if you did,
I was lost. I was like, who the hell is this?
if you didn't get it there, I was going to tell you, in February of 2018, he was caught with over 20 kilograms of cocaine.
Yes, that was the second thing that he was a really bad boy about.
Here's a confession. My brother-in-law worked for the San Diego District Attorney that year and was on the bust.
Esteban, I hope you are not listening. If you are, I have no affiliation with Paul Garcia other than this podcast.
You got to just say the name? All right.
Because they're not going to find it.
He was released from prison in 2021, and he was deported back to Mexico. Just to put a
He's not
little
gonna come
bow on
hunt you
that
down.
story. just to put a little bow on that story.
He's not going to come find your family member who prosecuted him.
Ah,
Well, you just said that. You revealed that.
I didn't.
I thought, when you first started saying that, you said, who was it again? Your friend? I forget.
No.
Okay,
We're
well,
only-
whatever you said, like my brother also, and I'm like, he also got arrested for that much cocaine? Is that what you're about to say?
No.
Like, oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just remember him coming up and he goes, "Do you know who Esteban Loaiza is?" I'm like, Yes, I do. You got a DUI right around the corner from my house."
No. Or I guess he was already out of the league probably when the cocaine bust happened.
Oh, well out of the league.
Yeah, I think ESPN had not a 30 for 30, but I think they had some kind of, it was either a documentary or a long form feature, written feature on it. And yeah, I remember reading that. Damn, Esteban was good, hella good. What? He was in the rotation for our ALCS clinching team. Well, we didn't go to the World Series, but we made it to
2006,
ALCS.
his age 34 season, he goes 11-9 with a 4.89 ERA in 26 starts.
In what year?
In the 2006 ALCS year.
That's not how I remember it.
He did throw a CG shut piece that season.
Okay, yeah, hit or miss. He had more wins than losses. But that would be a hell of a jersey. An A's Esteban Loaiza jersey. Don't get it now, though, with Fanatics. Oh,
Right. Oh, jeez, dude.
Bro,
This is...
come on,
let's just pile
man.
on. Everybody else has already done it. Let's just pile on to these embarrassing
Fuck it.
uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to talk about it for a while, but because how quick can they actually fix this? They've already committed this way.
Just wait until the main public finds out about this when the regular season starts. Not people that are crazy like us that are just reading baseball stories all day or on
Right.
baseball Twitter. Wait till
Or the
people
people who
go
are
to
at
the
spring
games. Yeah, wait for the people to go to the games and they see these ridiculous jerseys and how tiny the names and numbers are. Just screen printed on there.
Looking like replicas, dude. Like,
And they're charging more for it.
The cool part about baseball jerseys was you could even get kind of like back, I don't know, as early as a few years ago or even maybe last year, like you can kind of get the replica version, but it still had stitched names and numbers. It was just like not two colored tackle twill. It was like one color. So if you got, for instance, like an A's jersey, I remember back when Mark Ellis was one of our favorite players. And as an A's fan, you never buy a jersey because they're going to be gone shortly after. But Mark Ellis was the one I almost bought. And if you want to get authentic, like, dude, that was never even in the price range. Like, that is
minimum $250.
Even when even then it was probably like $200. But the replica, or I don't even know if they called it the replica, but the name would be in like green stitching, or
it
font.
didn't have any outline to it.
Didn't have the yellow outline on it. But that was fine. It was still stitched, and the numbers were still stitched, and the A's on the front was still stitched. Like, that's all.
Jerseys
that mattered.
being stitched was that was the feature that you needed to have to make sure, like, this is in replica. Look, it's stitched numbers. Stitched.
Yeah, get the fuck off me, bitch. Like,
it's not screen
and that's
printed.
That's how we referred to it. Like, oh, is it stitched? Like, oh yeah, I got it stitched. Like, it was either stitched or it wasn't,
or it was fake.
Or a replica. And I guess because basketball jerseys had the swingman jersey. That was like their mid-tier one, and then NFL, I don't know what the name of it was, but they also had a mid-tier one where I remember getting a Woodson back in like 2002 or something, and it was stitched. It was like $100. It wasn't like the authentic with the armband, like I'm actually going to go fucking play with it and put pads under it, but it was stitched, and that's all that mattered. Now the mid-tier is not stitched. It's just fucking screen printed or heat pressed or something, as they're trying to say now.
Poor. Disgusting. Poverty.
Straight up poverty. That's what baseball is now.
And those jerseys are costing like $430.
Yeah, it's
disgusting.
Yeah, I went back after this whole MLB jersey fiasco. I went back and looked at, because I remember 2023 when the NFL jerseys came out. A buddy of mine bought one, and he knows, like, stitched versus not and authentic and stuff. So he knows like what to look for and order. I think he ordered it online, and he said he didn't order the cheapest one. He ordered one that cost at least like $150, maybe $200, and it wasn't stitched. I think it was a 49ers jersey, screen printed, but the NFL, that's like their mid-tier, and you have to buy like the most authentic. It's over $300 to get stitched now. Like, we're just not doing stitched anymore.
Right.
What is this?
My dad got me like all my A's jersey. They were just blanks. So we couldn't get a player jersey ever, like you stated earlier. My dad would get stitched jerseys off eBay, which I wore for years. It was by Majestic. I don't even know if Majestic was doing the baseball uniforms back then. And I had a gray Road Oakland one and a home white Athletics one, and it was stitched. And I wore those for 10 plus years. Yeah. And my dad got those for well under $100 for a stitched A's jersey that looked very authentic.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Baseball jerseys were never. I had like the NBA swingman. I had some football jerseys. You and I had some random football jerseys too. I think you had like a Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, I had a Marshawn Lynch Buffalo Bills jersey.
So
yes,
sick.
I
did. Sick.
I used money that I earned from our employer to buy NCAA video games and to buy jerseys off eBay, and I had a collection. I just
Next
wanted
paycheck,
to see
another jersey.
Another random player's jersey.
Yeah, and then this actually this made me think. So we're because of NCAA, we always kept tabs on Army-Navy rivalry. Football, the big game at the end of the year between Army and Navy, because we would play with Army and Navy in the NCAA football game. So speaking of jerseys, I don't know why we did this, but at the end of one year, I have a confession. At the end of one year, I don't know why we did this, but we bought each other Army and Navy jerseys. So Paul was always Army, I was always Navy. So Paul bought me a Navy jersey, legit, so sick. Roger Staubach, Heisman Trophy winner. It was like navy blue with like gold stripes on the shoulders.
It was a clean jersey.
Perfect, like stitched, perfect, like weight. It felt authentic, everything. And I go on East Bay because I want to get you like the authentic shit for an Army jersey, you know? Well, Army doesn't really have like a Roger Staubach. Like they don't really have like they do have a Heisman winner. And their Heisman winner is Glenn Davis, I believe.
Glenn Davis is correct.
Number 42, I believe, or 41.
41, I believe.
So I'm looking at the jersey online. It looks sick. Black, gold numbers. The price point, I don't know who the maker was, but it wasn't like an obscure name. Like it was it was probably like Nike. I think it was Nike. Or it was something. It was a good brand, and looking at the page, the product page, and it looks legit. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, he's gonna love this. And I don't know if I ordered a size up, if that was the only thing available. But anyways, when it got in, it's wrapped up, and I hadn't opened it yet. I give it to you though as the gift.
Yeah,
I think you could take it from here because now my memory's getting a little hazy.
I go to my room to put it on.
Yes,
because we do our jersey exchange. I go to my room, I put it on, and I open it up, and this thing is like a 4XL 4XL long sleeve. Stitched
long
jersey.
sleeve.
Long
like
sleeve.
It wasn't like a jersey.
It went down. It went down.
We're talking wrist deep.
And it had that same jersey material all the way down the arm. Like it was a hockey sweater.
Oh,
and
man.
The number 41 was so tiny right in the middle of the chest. I just remember I came out and this thing is like a dress on me.
So, yes, a regular number probably in a jersey probably goes from like tit to like belly. That's probably as far as you go. For some reason, and I think this is because it was so authentic that they took from whatever year Glenn Davis won the Heisman.
1940s Glenn Davis. 1940s jersey, and the number is the size.
The numbers are, like if you made an L7 with your fingers and then put that up to your chest, that's how big the numbers were. With long sleeves in a 4X.
It was a great jersey. One of my favorites. I still own it to this day.
Oh man, we got to post that on Twitter and just for proof, because that I forgot about that. That was hilarious.
I'll find it after we're wrapping up here now. So I'll find it after this and see where it's at, and just we could post it.
Yeah, but Army Navy. We will have to... So, I was thinking about this. We decided to start this podcast with the longest amount of time to get to football season than we possibly could.
Yes. Right after the Super Bowl. We
will not be talking about a football game that just happened for a long time.
Yes, that is correct.
But that kind of gives us it's actually kind of perfect, because we're at the very start of baseball season.
Yeah. Give some time to get in the groove, yeah.
Perfect time. And then we will ease into football when we get there. So
Absolutely, yes. I think this has just been a wonderful introduction to who we are and what Card Attendant Confessions is going to be, and I am really excited to see where this goes.
Big podcasters now. You better
Big
watch out.
podcasters.
Everybody out there, you better watch out, because we're taking names and we're kicking ass. And what did your coach used to say in Little League? I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble
And
gum.
I'm all out of bubble gum. And then us as
God.
9-year-olds, we have all the motivation in the world. Because
I
our
think
coach
the
just said
worst-
ass.
I think the worst one I ever heard from a coach was, we're at practice and we're hitting off the tee into like the cage, and he stops me as like he puts the ball up on the tee, I swing and I hit it. He puts the ball up on the tee, I swing and I hit it, and then he just stops me, and then he like puts his hand like where the ball is supposed to go, as if I'm like, oh, now I'm not gonna swing because your hand's there.
Right.
He stops me and he goes, "Hey, Ricky, that ball ate your lunch." And he puts the ball back on the tee. At first, I didn't even know what the fuck he just said. He said, "That ball ain't your lunch." Okay, yeah, it isn't. I eat food. I don't eat baseball. I just swing normal. Like, that didn't do anything for me. What did he
That
just
does
say?
not
And then I'm
motivate
like,
me.
oh, that ball ate my lunch. Oh, am I supposed to be mad at the ball because it ate my lunch? How old do you think I am, bro? I'm like 12. Like,
Just
that was bad.
that's real bad.
Coaches in Little League said some kind of embarrassing shit.
Oh yeah, and we will definitely dive deeper into those.
Yeah. I ain't out here for me, guys.
Guys, I don't have to be here. I'm out
yeah,
here for
we can
you.
go home right now.
We could go home right now. I'm here for you guys. If you're not going to take it serious, we could just go home. We've each had that
Absolutely.
one. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, well, let me go home. I don't want to be here either, Coach.
Yeah, all lackadaisical and nonchalant. We can go home.
Lollygagging.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys ain't listening to the pod, we can go home right now.
Yeah, if you're not listening, guys, we're just going to go home right now. We don't have to be here. This is for you.
Exactly. You hear that? All right. Well, the pilot got us here. Hopefully, this gets us to complete a first season. So,
Absolutely. Episode 1 in the books. We thank
Yeah.
you all.
I look forward to shirt progression.
Yes.
Good job being the home team today, Paul.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
I'll try to bring it better. I was a little under the weather today, but I think we made it through. So, these are my confessions. Ooh, confessions.
Ooh, confessions.
Oh.